Hi everyone, welcome to this week's question and answer video. Happy Monday. Hope you guys had a good weekend. This is a video I do every single week. I'm answering you guys' questions from the last video. I encourage all of you to go down below and ask me any question you want. Come back next Monday for the video for my answer. Let me know what you think. Keep the questions coming. Elaborate more on that question. Let me know if I missed a question, if I didn't understand your question, or if you don't understand my answer. Okay? I like to recommend something every week to you guys to help you heal from trauma, emotional trauma. This week, I'm going to recommend a book, but I'm going to emphasize something here. So, where your guys' relationship went wrong right away is we allowed someone into our life and we committed to a person that does not share the same moral values you share. That's what I hear from all of you. I've been helping clients for years, hundreds, and that's the commonality, and that's where it starts right away. We cannot compromise what we value, and that means that we don't allow someone into our life that does not value what we value. If we're allowing people quickly into our life, not sure what they value, we just think they value this, we're being reckless, careless, we're not protecting ourselves. We're not aware of what we're doing, not being mindful. We may not know exactly who we are. And so the first step is, what do we value? I encourage all of you to take a piece of paper and write down values and start with morals first. Everything that you value. And realize that the best you'll feel is if you stick true to those values and don't let someone change who you are. Don't let someone pick up your values out of the ground and throw them away. Okay? So this book is called Discovering Your Authentic Core Values, a step-by-step guide. It's paperback edition, written by Mark Allen, Shelsky? And let's see, it's going for $9.99 on Amazon. The link will be right down below in the description box. Let me know if you guys can't find it. This looks like a really good book, a really good place to start, guys, to understand what went wrong in your relationships, why, and who are you? Okay? Anyone's read this book by chance, let me know what you think. Anybody that reads it, tell me what you think about it, please. I'd really like to know. I'm really interested in feedback. It's one of the first lessons I start with my clients on discovering who they are and how these relationships went bad. It might help you understand your childhood better. Okay? What I hear is when I ask them, we find out everything that they value, and then I ask them, did this person who abused you, who neglected you, who cheated on you and lied to you and discarded you, do they value any of these? Well, they said they did. Anybody can say anything they want about themselves. They can sell themselves entirely. Anytime you get tricked, fooled, conned, things like this, there's someone influential and there's someone vulnerable. And I've made videos about it before, about what are our vulnerabilities. If we've been neglected in childhood, huge vulnerability. If we don't know who we are, huge vulnerability. Coming out of losing someone, a death, being fired from a job, divorce, we're very vulnerable. After a relationship ends, we're very vulnerable to take them back. Yeah. So this value list that you make, hopefully, is your standard list. These standards, the very bottom standards people have to meet to be in your life, to be allowed to be. And these values take a long time to see in people. It takes a long time to get to know who someone is, not just what they're telling you, but what they're showing you. And then we eventually accept who someone shows us they are, instead of trying to help them be someone different. Okay? So let me know what you guys think. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. And let's get into the questions. First one's from Daryl, Vancouver. Hi, Daryl. Good to see you. Thank you so very much, David, for your kind words, your empathy of my situation and all of our situations. Thank you. I was watching and rewatching your healing playlist and was hoping you could give some pointers and strategies for overcoming cognitive dissonance, or do a vid on it. I feel like that's a huge issue I'm having, which is propelling my constant ruminations. I can't make my brain register her from the loving person who she was in our relationship to the person she revealed herself to be. How long did that take? It usually shouldn't take as long as it does with these toxic people to figure out who someone is, because someone tells you they value something and they show it to you all the time. There might have been some signs there. So some ways to overcome cognitive dissonance. It's also other ways to help detaching from people and eliminate rumination. So there's, the number one thing we can do, Daryl, and all of you guys, is talk to someone. We have a lot in here, big storage bank. We have a lot of emotions in here. We might have lost track of the source over time. We didn't express them. They're all in here. And we need to get them out of here and out of these out of here too. And by talking is a form of expression. So we're not only closing our emotions and healing, we're making sense of what happened so our brain can also move on. And so talking's number one. Writing is another great thing we can do. I have many exercises I offer that I suggest to clients for this. But let's write down our relationship. What's the truth? What is the reality? They said that they're loyal, but they talked about me behind my back. Told someone else secrets that we have. Yeah. Sometimes it's necessary to write a bad list. All the bad things that happened, all the bad things this person has done to you, all the different ways that they show that they don't value what you value. No moral compass. Evaluating your relationship, self-discovery, knowing exactly who you are, what you want, what you need, what you value. The more we learn about ourselves, the more we learn about our relationships. I think those are the best things you can do. They really work. Talking to someone about these things, writing about these things, and not lying to ourselves anymore. Because someone could be influential, but we could be very vulnerable. And we can continue these lies that people give us and tell us. Okay? We want to take time to get to know who someone is. The idea with these is, if we can, we find out who someone is before we attach, instead of just attaching real quick because they said nice things, because we had fun, felt good. Yay. Yeah. We slow it down. The other most common thing I see is we go too fast. There's so much more to learn about this. I'm not going to give it all away here. Don't have time anyway. But yeah, Daryl, keep talking to someone and processing these things. Yeah. Write down what you think is true and then somehow figure out what is reality. These aren't facts, okay? Our thoughts aren't necessarily true or false. They're just not factual. We need to make sense of what happened and understand our experiences. It helps alleviate guilt and shame. Cognitive dissonance is lying to ourselves. We're all guilty of it. The mild end of it is the woman who goes through the McDonald's drive-thru and gets the supersized number 4 with a Diet Coke. I'm on a diet. It's funny, but it happens. After a while, anything more than that, if we stick true to beliefs, even in the face of reality, we become delusional. Delusional thinking. So it's important to talk with someone that you can trust, someone that understands, can make sense of these things. But the number one thing you can do is learn who you are more and more and more. Always increasing our self-awareness, consciousness is number one. Okay? When we're in relationships like this, the attention comes off ourselves and goes on to them too much. We lose a sense of who we are. We compromise what we value. We neglect what we need. We lose sight of what we want. It starts to feel bad, and we can't make ourselves feel better anymore in a toxic relationship where someone hurts us. Okay? Thank you, Daryl. Good to see you. All right, next question is from Dan from Nebraska. Attempting to recover from suspected BPD relationship. Your advice is appreciated. It's my first exposure to this particular condition. It did some damage. I'm sorry, Dan. I really am. There's no damage that can't be healed or undone. Everybody can heal from this. Not saying everybody does. It's about what you do. And number one is find support. Find someone you trust. Find someone that understands. Find someone you can talk to. Number one. There is no other replacement, guys. And I drill this because I know so many of you don't do it. You think you don't need it. Maybe you feel you're not worthy of it. Maybe you don't trust anybody. Maybe you're just not into yourself right now too much. But it's a good way to do it. To dive in to yourself and have somebody there that's only about you. I don't talk about my experiences with my clients. I don't make anything about me. And that's the way it works. Friends and family are great support. Great support. We bounce things off. We share. We express how we feel. But this stuff is so complex. Just like your friend can't help you with heart surgery, your friend may not be able to help you with emotional trauma. All right? Even therapists can't help personal relationships. I can't coach my friend. Literally, we're in a different part of our brain. It doesn't work like that. Talking to friends only and family only. Oh, I just leave her. I don't know why you're still thinking about her. They mean well, but it could be more damaging. We really, really, really need to understand what happened and express all these emotions. How many emotions spring up during trauma, during a 2-year traumatic relationship, where you're not allowed to express these emotions to them? Too sensitive, don't care, no empathy, no understanding, no connection, emotional connection. Good luck, Dan. This is an experience that I totally feel that anyone has. It's necessary that they have it. And usually it teaches us to love ourselves by someone entering our life that cannot love us. Someone very sick and untreated with a mental illness like borderline personality disorder can be extremely damaging to us. Extremely neglectful. We compromise what we value and neglect what we need, and feels bad. And we need to understand why. This is just a part of our journey, just a part of our healing, just a part of learning about who we are. This is the bleeding cut that finally hurts and says, oh gosh, I didn't know I was cutting myself here. It's something to help you, nudge you, say this is time. Most people that start finding help with this tend to be a little bit later in life. We kind of bounce back quicker when we're younger, which means it wasn't bad enough to find help. If it's bad enough to find the help you need, you better do it. Okay? There's lots of different people out there that can help you, and you, Dan. So find someone. Find someone to talk to make sense of this, to understand it, so that it's all about you. Okay? Best advice. If you want some easier things that go along with that, supplemental. We take supplements, vitamins and minerals. We exercise lightly. We must get good sleep. One of the single most important things that we can do. Be creative, artistic. Whether it's music or art, cooking, gardening, meditate. But what we're doing is making ourselves feel better and healing, and then learning who we are. There is no way you guys totally know who you are by allowing someone toxic and very mentally ill into our life and sacrifice and numbing and neglecting and compromising the parts of our life, parts of who we are. Okay? And if you did know who you are completely and you had a relationship like this, you don't anymore. All right? We lose a sense of who we are, and we need to get that back. It's not about becoming our old self that got us into this. It's about learning from this and recovering from this and being the beautiful person we're meant to be. A better, newer version of ourselves that can not only protect ourselves, but give ourselves what we need. Okay? Good luck, Dan. Thank you. And Victoria from the Bay Area. Hi, Victoria. I walked away from my toxic relationship for going on 5 years now. I left this man homeless. I think you're saying you left this man homeless, and now he's in the hospital fighting for his life. What did I do? I never meant for this to happen. All I was trying to do was leave him. So how did you make all the rest of it happen, Victoria? You know, toxic people, it's real hard for them to introspect, look at themselves, right? That's why they don't apologize and blame shift. Everything's your fault, my fault. You know, the personality disorder is everyone else but me, right? It's the 25 people that have been in my life. They're all the same. They all are like this, and they've ruined everything for me, and I've done nothing. But us victims, we kind of take it all on. I mean, are you in that much control of his body, of his life, of his choices, his decisions? No, you're not. And you're not responsible for them, Victoria. For instance, if you walk up to someone and insult them, you're not responsible for their emotions. You're not responsible for anything they go do after that. Nothing. No, you're responsible for your insult. That's it. Okay? You're responsible for your actions. Leaving him, you know, I'm assuming this is a grown man, right? You were dating a child, physical child. You're dating probably an emotional child, but this is someone who can't take care of himself. Yeah? He probably blamed you for everything. You were probably responsible for a lot of your relationship and even a lot of his life during that relationship, which makes it very difficult to break away guilt-free, shame-free. We have to learn, Victoria, that we're not responsible for other people. We're not here to take care of others. We're here to take care of ourselves, learn who we are, and have beautiful relationships with other people like that. I don't think that you made him homeless. I don't think that you made him sick in a hospital fighting for his life. But we're taking this on. We learn this. We were conditioned of this in childhood. Find that out, Victoria. I know you have talked to someone else again about this. Okay. Wish I could help you more, but tell me more. I'll try to help you more. But Victoria, we have to accept who this person is, okay? And you're not responsible for them. Certainly not their choices. Certainly not for their life, their well-being, their health. Like you said, you just left them, and we're allowed to, okay? What someone goes and does afterwards is not your fault, whatever it is. Even if they go succeed and do really, really well, you didn't do that. Some of us might want to, oh, well, I made them a better person. I helped them do that. No, it doesn't matter. It's not, you didn't do it. They did it. They chose. They did it. Same goes with negativity. I want to take my own life. You didn't do that. Okay? Even if we did things to hurt someone, we're not responsible for what they go do. You spit in my face, it's my choice to spit back in your face. I won't. I'll respectfully walk away, stay away from you. And I get to be true to my values. Okay? Rory from Ohio. Hi, Rory. Sunny, but so very chilly in Ohio. My question is about neglect in your family of origin. What exactly would that look like? How it affects you emotionally and physically during your formative years and straight into your adult life? I always felt it was enough they kept a roof over our heads, providing us with clothes, food on the table. I know they did the best they could considering the families they both came from, but there is so much more to raising a family. It would be great if you could do a video on this. Thanks, David. It was hard for me to express this because I don't want to throw my mom and dad under the bus. I understand that. I wish they were still here so I could speak to them, but sadly they've been gone since my late 20s. Sad, Rory. I'm sorry. It's early. It's young. I have made videos. I can't remember specifically what they were called. I mean, if it was exactly about this, it should be. I know I have. You can find them in the Healing CPTSD playlist I have. But let's just go over it real quick today. Parents raise children the way they were raised, but a little better. That's just typical. Think of teachers as parents. Think of parents as teachers. And they've got to know the material to set you up to get along with society by age 5, kindergarten. Boom, there you go. Okay? Some parents, some teachers don't have all the material. If your parents didn't have all the material when they were growing up and they didn't go learn somewhere, then they taught you what they know, right? If you need to be, let's use like grades kindergarten through 12, and you need every year to be prepared for life and relationships, and your parents only got up to a 8th grade level themselves, they don't learn that. That's what they teach, and that's what they neglect you of. It's not completely makes them bad parents. Narcissistic parenting doesn't even mean that you're a bad parent. Okay. I want to just dive so far into it, but so let's go here. You asked me, what does it look like? It affects you emotionally and physically during your formative years. First signs of neglect are headaches and stomach aches because it causes stress. Every relationship is our biggest source of comfort or stress, and we grow up as children being comfortable or stressed or somewhere in between. If we're not having our needs met, we're stressed. It comes out physically: headaches, stomach aches, back aches, ulcers, things like this. This kind of stress, it affects our confidence. It affects our self-worth, our self-esteem, our self-respect. If I don't give my child what they need, they're not worthy of it. I don't respect them. Do you see that? We grow up because the deal is like a flower. We just plant it in the ground and we give it water and we give it sunshine and food, the right amount of wind and stuff like this. And we allow that flower to grow up to be what it's going to be and bloom. But if we tell them no and don't give them enough of this, they don't become who they're supposed to be. They don't become that beautiful flower. If I tell you you shouldn't feel that way, if you feel that maybe mom and dad's emotions are more important, if they're fighting and upset us, children internalize all of this as it's me. I'm not good enough. I need to learn how to please them. Parents tend to put more emphasis and focus and attention either on what you do or how you feel. And all of us had too much attention on what we do, not enough on how we feel. It doesn't matter what we do. That's judgmental. It matters how we feel about it. If all that mattered is what we do, then we judge ourselves. We judge each other. We're not good enough sometimes. We compare ourselves to others. Lowers our self-esteem. It's stress. And we end up being in relationships that are also neglectful. We may not know who we are. We may not know how to protect ourselves. Parents need to teach us this. They need to be involved in our lives and show us direction, and they need to keep us safe and secure. And if mom and dad are yelling, they failed. If they're screaming, they're banging, throwing stuff, if they're not there enough, if they're working too much, if they have addictions, this is a void in the parent. And that void that the parent has takes attention that they have for you, takes it off of you. Mom and dad give you 100% of attention all the time. Emotional. Emotions are our body doing things, so they're emotionally giving you attention on your body and what it's doing, and they help you to start understand what this is, what your body's doing, why it's doing this, and what we can do about it. But if I was abused as a child and I haven't healed from that, I have a void. If I was neglected in childhood and I didn't learn and give myself what I needed now, then I have a void. And this comes out in fighting, arguing, addictions, working too much, not home, unstable. You shouldn't feel that way. I'll give you something to cry about. That's wrong. You're bad. There's no way a child's going to process that as I did a bad thing. It's okay. Isn't it okay to make mistakes? Isn't it okay to fail? That's a child doing bad things. We let them know it's okay, but there's repercussions. There's things that happen because of your actions. And I love you, and this is what's going to happen to you. It's so important, and society places zero importance on it. We even put our kids in school starting at 5 years old to learn nothing about this. And all that matters is what you do and what you didn't do. What you didn't do right, what you didn't do good enough, what you did that was so bad. Life is hard enough. We became social creatures to be there for each other. I could go off for hours. Maybe I will make another video, even though I have. But any specific questions you have, please ask. Okay, Rory, and anybody else. Okay? Thank you. All right, Joanne. I like worshiping my Lord and kneeling in adoration at the foot of the cross and in front of his true presence in the blessed sacrament. I live the sacramental life of my one true holy and apostolic church, the Roman Catholic Church. Jesus' mystical body on earth, the greatest gift given to mankind, is mocked, scoffed, and desecrated, of course, by the evil one himself, the jealous liar and the thief of souls. There's nothing more fulfilling in this life than being given the opportunity to assist the Lord Almighty in the salvation of souls, including your own. Come to me, all those who labor and are burdened, and I will give you the rest, for my yoke sweet and light. And that video, last week's video, is about being extreme. Talking about splitting. And I used religion and politics as examples, and this is very extreme. And I'm not trying to single out this person. I'm trying to single out what they're saying. So I said, that's pretty extreme. And they replied, it's not extreme when you're living for eternity, not here, which is temporary. To be given a taste of heaven beforehand while still living on this earth is what the majority of people are lacking. It's the peace and joy that this world cannot give. My holy Roman Catholic Church is not a museum, it's a hospital for souls. There would be no need for psychiatric hospitals and doctors if people would realize that the master of all creation resides therein. His tabernacles spread all over the world, waiting to heal not only your physical body, but your soulful soul. When the King of all kings finds you to be a worthy vessel in a place where he takes refuge, well, no medicine or explanation in words can describe such a grace. I've had one too many encounters with him, and he's real. His love surpasses all human understanding. Evil cannot bear it. It must flee. May more people come and taste the goodness of the Lord before the doors of his mercy close, and then he will not be merciless anymore. Yeah. I'm glad this works for you and other people, but I disagree. I don't believe this. I don't follow this for myself. Doesn't work. I've been brought up like this. Okay? So we just believe different things. Faith is the belief in something without any evidence. This is faith. Okay? Not just belief. This is a faith that you believe this exists without any evidence. And I just want to say that you're going to have a hard time in life if you can't agree that some people don't believe this without thinking they're going to rot in hell. This kind of extreme beliefs will only isolate you. Okay? Only. I don't like being told I'm going to hell, and I don't like being told I'm going to suffer, and I don't like being told that my world has no joy. That is your single experience. That's it. And I'm glad that you have something that works for you, but don't push it on anyone else. One of the first things we have to learn as little children by age 5, like I was talking about, we need to learn to be agreeable. And that means that we're all different. We're not just different needs and not just different wants and feelings and values, but also different beliefs. And we respect that. We're all on different journeys. You're pushing something with no evidence, just personal experience. We can't do that. We're all too different. Okay? This is a very negative message, saying that your life will be miserable until you die. unless you get a touch of God like I got. It sounds very depressing, very negative, very splitting. Believing in a hell, believing in a devil that will do things to you. I'll take it a step further. Even if this was real, I wouldn't dare take a knee to this. Dare. It's gross. I will not kneel to any God that wants to punish people and put them in hell and not help them, not be merciless sometimes. What caused a village of 5,000 people to die all at once? What caused that? Every one of them didn't believe what you believe? God just wasn't merciless? Why? I don't like it, but I accept it. I'm only talking about it here after 8 years of doing these videos because I'm just talking about what you are pushing on my videos. We must accept that people are different. We must. By you not accepting this, that everybody has to go down your journey, makes you very, very alone. That's not why we're here. That's not why we are here. I won't tell you why we're here. Don't tell me why we're here. But it can't be this. And if it is, I don't want it. Is that okay with you? Can you refrain from telling me I'm going to be punished and sent to hell by your beautiful, merciless God? Thank you for your comment, but I don't think this helps anyone. Rose from the United Kingdom. Hi, Rose. Yes, I do know what you meant. Thank you. I do feel better with your answers. Never truly could tell Narcissist to BPD. He is always the one to go to at work. And when someone went against that, he went crazy at them. Can I have another question? He says things he says things I would never say. This is odd. But there's a thing I've noticed. He will speak on the phone in toilet and not wait. Like most would, he will also talk to someone and has asked them if they're in the toilet because it sounds like it. He said to me, lady who works in the office, are you in the toilet? Sounds echoey. You're not having poo or anything, then laughed. She didn't say much, probably surprised. Yeah, but then just spoke about work. I'm just not sure what this is about at all. Well, we can at least say immature, disrespectful, gross, disgusting, weird, odd. Shall I keep going? We could call this, maybe it's projection. He just projects people and says you're on the toilet because he does it. But this is no respect at all. No. And people like this lack social awareness. He lacks who he is. We already know that by your other questions, Rose. But he lacks what it looks like to people. He lacks what it does to other people. He's in his own little damn world, isn't he? Little narcissist. We don't have to differentiate what mental illness he has. He's just extremely narcissistic, right? Just like borderlines, just like narcissists. It's gross. It's disrespectful. I don't know what else to say about it. You can tell me more if you want about him being on the toilet. But we don't talk to people while we're on the toilet. That's pretty gross. It's not very respectful, is it? And then he tries to call other people out for doing it. Well, only the king can talk from his throne. Yeah? But you can't. I don't know. He obviously thinks it's okay to talk from the toilet, but then he wants to give someone else crap, no pun intended, for doing it. These are baiting, controlling techniques, catch someone off guard, but he can't possibly know what it really looks like. It's just gross. More than anything, it's just disgusting. Thanks, Rose. Rodriguez. I can't remember where you're from if you say it. No. Hi, David. Thank you for your video once again. You missed my question, but I know you are super busy, and I will always ask again. If I miss your question, it's not because I'm busy. I didn't see it. Make sure it's always on the most recent Q&A. But thanks for asking again. I had just shared what helped me heal. Since you asked for us to share, I mentioned God's love and all the great information and advice from all your videos helped me survive the discard. Thanks for telling me. Just stated therapy. Thank you for everything you do. I had asked another question regarding ex-BPD, odd, weird behavior. When my children or I had a bruise or like a Band-Aid on a wound, he would like to push on our bruise or on the Band-Aid where the wound was weird. Where the wound was, which is weird. We would say something like ouch or stop, and I would ask him, why are you doing that? That's weird, and he wouldn't answer or say something dumb. Why do you think he would do that? He would do some weird things. Why do you think he would do this? Thank you. Well, I can't always, I'm never going to claim I know what someone's doing, especially I don't know who they are and why they're doing it. If I remember right, this is the person, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong, where he would do things like this to you and the children, right? You say ow and you keep doing it. Why is he doing it? It's abuse. Either it's like that, or it's like this, or it's pushing on your Band-Aids, or it's calling you the B word. It's abuse. He enjoys abusing you. Sounds sadistic. Pleasure off your pain, especially what they cause. Sadist isn't just going around watching people in pain and enjoys it. It's the control that they do. It's the pain they cause that they enjoy watching. A sadist. Sounds like a sadist. Yeah. I mean, maybe he isn't, but he does sadistic things. Maybe he doesn't enjoy it, but he keeps doing it. I would say he enjoys causing pain to people. Makes them feel in control. Yeah? It's disgusting. Never let someone abuse your children again, or you. Okay? Mom? Next time? Yeah? We call the police? Something like that? We take our children and run. He's just abusing you. It's just like, it's no different than hitting you, spitting in your face, calling you names, cheating on you, lying to you, just different forms of abuse. Mistreating someone on purpose. That's abuse. Hurting someone on purpose. Oh, gee, I see it already hurts there. I know it'll hurt you more if I push that. That's on purpose. That's abuse. That's sick. It's gross. It's sadistic. And it starts becoming illegal. Physical abuse is illegal. And people ask, why isn't emotional abuse illegal? Because that's a mess where we could all be in jail. See that? It's never going to happen. I can't say it'll never going to happen. That's it. There's no mystery. There's nothing much to figure out. He abuses people. Maybe you want to know why people abuse people? For control, because they feel like crap about themselves inside. Hurt people hurt people. Not a good reason, not an excuse, but that's why people do it. I'm hurting inside, so I'll hurt you. Take some of it away. I can't control my life, I'll control yours. Helps me feel more in control of my life, if I can control your life. Pretty bad. I could never think of something like that. Any of you guys think of doing something like that? Amazing. I would be extra careful not to hit it, not to touch it. Is there anything I can do? Here's a new Band-Aid. Just gross. I mean, you can't have much empathy, compassion, remorse if that's what you're doing. Pretty sick guy, and I'm sorry. Hope I helped you understand. Let me know if I didn't. Our Bishop. Cleveland. I'm in Cleveland, by the way. Lots of BPDs in Ohio. I'd even have a new question. I know BPDs, monkey branch, and cheat, but what about keeping someone in rotation? I actually made friends with three of my BPD exes. The recent one after me told me he had a woman he keeps as a D stop between relationships. Like she just waits in the wings for scraps. I know looks are not everything, but this woman is particularly unattractive and looks 9 months pregnant, and she isn't. Is this more narcissistic behavior? Because I know narcs sleep with everything and anyone. My ex would burn the bridges mostly with all his exes, so it's odd he keeps this woman around. Well, it's not his choice necessarily, right? You just said she just waits and waits and waits for scraps. So it's not so much he, And I understand you're saying he might discard and throw people away, but the bottom line is his relationships don't work. They don't work. And the reason the relationships probably don't work is because he doesn't have a relationship with himself first, right? And if all these relationships fall apart and this one always stays there and he goes back to her, shows me that not only does he not have a relationship with himself, but he hates himself. Doesn't ever want to be alone. Can't do that. Too boring. You know, when we lose a relationship with ourselves, we get bored easily by ourselves. When people tell me I get bored when I'm by myself, David, I say, well, you must not be in good company. So, no, I mean just with myself. I said, yeah, you're not good company. If you're anxious and bored by yourself and you hate to be alone, you aren't in very good company. And this is obviously a person that can't make relationships work. He can't be alone, and he goes back to a sick person that has no self-worth at all because he hates himself so much. I can't be alone. I can't make myself feel better. I need someone to feed my ego, take care of me, whatever it is that this person does for them. But that's why, okay? And Emily from South Africa. Hi, Emily. If the brain is overestimated because of CPTSD, wouldn't SRI make it worse? So I think you mean SSRIs, and those are antidepressants, and you're asking me if it would make a CPTSD brain worse. Well, I'm not going to sit here and tell you yes or no, it makes it worse, but I'll tell you that SSRIs aren't a cure. They aren't going to make them better. I take SSRIs because I'm so depressed I can't take it, I can't manage it anymore. I don't know how to make myself better. Okay, well here's something that won't feel so bad. May help you feel so bad. What I can tell you, what I know about SSRIs, is that they typically don't really work on the traumatized brain. Our serotonin receptors don't work well. Take like alcohol, what alcohol does to the brain. Here's a neuron, okay? And a neuron like this has their dendrites, or their receptors, and they receive and send messages, right? And so alcohol comes into the brain, and we say, oh, it just kills brain cells. Well, not necessarily. I'm not saying it doesn't. But what it does is it starts affecting these dendrites, your receptors, till they don't work very well anymore. Not much exposed area anymore. You fail to get the message. That's why when you drink and drive, alcohol is a stimulant first, but quickly turns into a depressant, which makes you drive slower, typically. It's hard to, if you're trying to keep at 55, you may be at 50, 48. One way a police officer knows you're drinking and driving. When they give you the light test, a drunk's eyes go like this, always catching up. Here's the light. See that? That's how you tell someone's drunk. Not getting all the message. So when we take SSRIs, if your brain's like this, your serotonin receptors, it doesn't work. When you take antidepressants, you stop feeling as depressed to some degree. And then when you get off them, it's very typical that it's very impactful and we become very depressed. Can be. But what I've noticed with my clients who've taken SSRIs, they did nothing. Never felt a difference. They're not working. My serotonin receptors are not taking the SSRIs. I hope that helps, Emily. I'm not going to sit there and tell you that, what was your words? Would it make it worse? I'm not going to sit there and tell you, will it make it worse or better? It's not a cure at all. It's not a cure for anything. Certainly not depression. SSRIs are a mood and emotional depressant. They suppress all emotion. Okay? And the reason I just personally myself believe that it's not a cure is there's a lot more we need to do than take a pill, no matter what that pill is. We have to learn what caused us to be depressed and how to make ourselves feel better. Because if I just take a pill, then I'll probably just need that pill forever until I finally learn these things. Okay? If I can't experience joy and happiness and excitement, how do we balance depression? Right? Do you see that? Just personal observation. Thanks, Emily, though. Let me know what I can do to answer your question better or more. Just keep asking me, okay? That's it, guys. That's all the questions. Thank you very much. If you find this video beneficial or helping you, could help someone else, really appreciate to share the video, like it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But always ask me questions, okay? Let me know what you think of my answers. Keep it going. And if you do agree or want to support this message and helping others, support the video. I told you how. Thank you, guys. Love yourself first, okay? I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.